Good morning, my friends. We have a massive NBA slate, 13 games on the docket tonight. And so without further ado, we're going to jump right into the picks because I've got a boatload of them for you. There's a lot of early value with there being so many games. Before we get into all the picks, guys, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. And let's keep the streak going. We've hit 200 or more likes the last couple of videos. I want to go ahead and hit 200 or more again in today's massive NBA video. All right, without further ado, let's take a look at the PrizePicks board. I got a total of 6 picks. Yes, I've heard you folks in the comments section. There's a couple of you guys that are like, hey, why don't you ever post these 6 picks? Sometimes the value's just not there early on in the morning. You got to wait for PrizePicks to load more plays up on the board. But today is an exception. There's plenty of picks up on the board, meaning plenty of value up on the board, given there's so many NBA games on today's NBA slate. So let's get right into it. Starting off with Max Strus at 11.5 points and assists, taking on the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer to make sure that we're playing nothing but plus EV plays. We want positive expected value. That's the name of the game. We want to be going with the current, not against it, especially on a site like PrizePicks where it is a fixed odds payout format. So let's go ahead and look up this Max Strus points and assists play. It's a 53.3, let's call it, % chance for him to go over. You're seeing juice on these books at minus 142, minus 140 on some sites. You're getting true odds here of minus 134. So when we strip out the juice, the VIG on these picks, the true odds in this case presented by Daily Grind Fantasy are minus 134 for him to go over 11.5 points and assists. Now, taking a look at the hit rates for Max Strus, now that we know that it is a plus EV play, what I've gone and done here is filtered out all of the games that he has played alongside of Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell. That's your projected starting lineup for the Cavaliers. And whenever you look at just those games in which he's played with just those teammates, you can see that he's taken the floor 18 times with these group of guys. And in those 18 games, he's gone over 11.5 points and assists in 72% of those games. So a fantastic hit rate, averaging 16.2 points and assists in those 18 contests. And then you also have to factor in that he's going to be playing at home tonight. Some guys play better at home than they do away. So when we look at the home splits here for Max Strus at 11.5 points and assists, you can see that he's got a great hit rate, 8 out of 9 games in which he's played at home with these other 4 guys alongside of him. He has gone over, averaging 17 points plus assists in those games. So it's a plus EV play. He's got great hit rates overall, great hit rates at home. Let's run some projections on Max Strus. We're going to use a couple of different projection models. The one that I like here in this case is RotoWire. This is one of the ones that you could try out for free. Link down in the description of today's video for all the tools that I'm using. And you can try out RotoWire totally risk-free, no credit card required, full access, 2-day pass. Use the link down in the description, but projected for 13.3 points and assists on a line of 11.5. So we're liking that first projection. A second projection here, we're going to go to a different projection system. And this one's provided by Fantasy Labs with Action Labs, their projection tools. And he's projected for 12.9 points and assists in this projection model. So we got 2 different projection models. Both of them have him going over. And so we're going to take Max Strus for more than 11.5 points and assists. Moving on to the next pick, which is Nikola Vucevic at 9.5 rebounds. From the other side of this game, facing off against Max Strus and the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, Vuce is at 9.5 rebounds. And so once again, we want to head back over here and make sure that this is a plus EV play. And in this case, at 9.5 boards, he's got about a 53.5% chance of going over based on the true odds or fair odds provided here by the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. If you want to save 25% on the DGF Optimizer, I've left a link for you down in the description below. You'll get 25% off your very first month, pending that you've never used this tool before. So this is a first-time users offer only. But anyway, taking a look at the odds here, minus 136 on Pinnacle to go over 9.5, minus 138, minus 135. A lot of good juice on the over here for Vucevic at 9.5 rebounds. So we know that it is a plus EV play. So going back over here to props.cash, you can see the games in which he's played alongside of Ayo Dosunmu, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, Kobe White, and without Zach LaVine, you're left with these games right here. 19 games, and he's gone over in 12 out of 19. 63% hit rate. Anything 60% or above in terms of hit rate always catches my eye. That's good for a 10.7 rebound per game average playing alongside this cast of characters. Now I'm going to clear these filters out because I want to show you some of the head-to-head matchups against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is another thing that caught my eye about this particular play here for Vucevic. In the last 6 games in which he's played against Cleveland, he's gone over his 9.5 rebounds in 5 out of 6. That's an 83% hit rate. And he's 2 for 2 this season. So we got a more recent sample size here. Pulled down 12 boards 2 days before Christmas on December 23rd. And then more recently on January 15th, a little less of a rebound output game for him, but still 10 boards is all we need. And 10 boards is what he happened to have against Cleveland back on January the 15th. So head-to-head, very good. And then we're going to go look at those projections once again. We want to make sure that he's projecting well on these various projection models. And so running the first projection here on RotoWire, you can see that he's projected for a whopping 12.1 rebounds. All we need is 10. He's projected for more than 12. So we like that first projection. Swinging things over here back to Action Labs. Type in Vucevic's name there. A little bit more conservative of a projection at 10.4, but still has him going over 9.5. 10 or better, and we get that cheddar. And we want cheddar cheese. Yes, we do. So we're going to go for more than 9.5 rebounds on Nikola Vucevic, which moves us on to our third place, Scottie Barnes. Now, you can wait and see on this pick. We're still trying to see if RJ Barrett's going to take the floor tonight for Toronto. If he does, then I think Scottie Barnes at 30.5 points and rebounds might just be a tad bit too high. So let's go back to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. I just want to show you guys that I'm putting in the work, doing the research for you so you don't have to. And you can feel confident in these picks that they have been thoroughly looked over. And so I hope you guys appreciate that. And if you do, again, drop that like for me and subscribe. We appreciate all of that support. So Scottie Barnes here early this morning around 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Points and rebounds, 30.5, 53.3% chance that he's going under. And you're already seeing some of these sports books offer Scottie Barnes as low as 29.5, meaning their lines makers think 29 to 30 points and rebounds is where Scottie Barnes lands this evening. And so we know it's a plus EV play for the under at 30.5. Again, if you want to wait for RJ Barrett to be ruled in and then take the under, I don't blame you for waiting. You can do that if you want. Early adopters typically capture the value, though, by taking a little bit of that risk. Maybe Barnes is not out tonight, or maybe he's in. I mean, you just never know. So anyway, going back over here to props.cash, just taking a look at the games in which Scottie Barnes has played with the likes of Emmanuel Quickley, Jakob Poeltl, Gary Trent Jr., and RJ Barrett. We're assuming RJ Barrett plays tonight. He sat out in the last game. I think maybe he's good to go tonight. Shave off this first game. This first game doesn't count, but the other games from there on out, 26, 22, 8, 26, 22, 23. He did have 34 against Cleveland, but in his most recent game, just 16 points and rebounds. So he's gone under in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8 games, playing with Poeltl, Quickley, Gary Trent Jr., and RJ Barrett. So the under definitely looks like the way to go here for Scottie Barnes. But, you know, we got to get the projections. We want to make sure that things are projecting well. And so we're going to go back over here to RotoWire. And RotoWire's got Scottie Barnes projected early on at 30.3, which is slightly less than 30.5. We're going to head back over here to the action projection tool and just check a second projection for Scottie. And they've got him all the way down at 28.1 points and rebounds. Again, the line is 30.5 as of around 8:30 a.m. And so at 28 projected points and rebounds on Action Labs, I think we go less on Scottie Barnes. All right. 3 more picks to go. But first and foremost, if you're not a part of a community yet and you want to be a part of a winning group, guys, we got you covered. I've got the Eyes on the Prize Discord all fired up and ready to go. Plenty of private channels talking all different sports, not just NBA, but NHL, soccer, tennis, esports. If you could bet on it on PrizePicks, we're playing it. So 67 cents per day, pretty affordable, $20 a month. Or if you want to go 3, 6, or 12 months with me, guys, the more months you go, the more money you save. Check out the pinned comment down in the comment section. We hit on 2 out of 3 of our 2-pick power plays for Taco Tuesday last night. If you join the Discord, head over to the winner circle. You'll see some of those winning slips from our community members. All right, back into it we go. 3 more picks. This is a longer video. We got more picks to talk about. Denny Avdija. Avdija. Denny Avdija, I think is how you say it. Washington Wizards forward going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. He's sitting at 10.5 rebounds and assists tonight. He's been pretty good over the last few games since the Wizards made some moves, made some trades. Seems like he's picked his game up. So let's go back over to the optimizer. We want to make sure that Denny is a plus EV play, and he is. 53% chance for him to go over 10.5 rebounds and assists, and you can see across the board here on various sports books, the odds are favoring the over. True odds in this case are -133 of him covering. We need 11 or more rebounds plus assists. So taking a look at his game logs here, we're going to go back over to props.cash. If you're not using props.cash and you want access to these kick butt charts, I got you covered. 25% off when you use code Curry. Link down in the description. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Take your player prop research to the next level and be great with props.cash. All right, 10.5 rebounds and assists, guys. 10 games. His last 10 games in particular have been hot. These are games played with Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, and Marvin Bagley the third. All right, he's gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his last 9. That's a 67% hit rate by my calculations, averaging right around 11 rebounds and assists in that 10-game span. So he did have a little bit of a down game, finished with just 10. That would be a loss by the hook. That little 0.5 after the prop, we call that the hook in the industry here. So hopefully he gets back on track and gets back to doing green things tonight. And based on the projections that I saw, I think it looked like a pretty solid projection here for Denny across the board on these rebounds and assists. So we're going back over here to RotoWire. You can see that their projection tool loves some Denny Avdija today. 12.7 rebounds and assists on a line of just 10.5. So he's got a whole 2.2 higher projection than the line currently sits at 10.5. And we're looking for a nice little bounce back from a guy that's been pretty solid, pretty consistent over the last several games. So good projection over there. Projection number 2, back over to Action Labs we go. Punching in Denny's name there. You got a projection of 11.6. We need 11 or more, so we like the 11.6 projection. So that's going to put him for more than 10.5 rebounds and assists. Let's get on to the next one. Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. In case you haven't heard, the Hawks are going to be pretty thin along their front court. No Clint Capella. No Onyeka Okongwu. He's out as well, which leaves them with what? Bruno Fernando at center, and then you got Jalen Johnson at power forward. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks run some small ball tonight, and at times you may see Jalen Johnson slotted in at the 5 spot. But nonetheless, we know the Charlotte Hornets defense is not very good. Whether he's playing power forward or center, he's going to have a favorable matchup against the Hornets. So let's head over here to the optimizer. We're going to plug in Jalen Johnson's name. We want to see if this is a plus EV play, and in this case it is. You can see that his points, rebounds, and assists at 28.5 is the most optimal way to play JJ as of right now. About a 53% chance that he clears this number. You're already seeing a book like FanDuel post him at 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists, meaning they think 29 to 30 could be a possible landing spot for Jalen Johnson's PRA tonight. And then some of these other books that have him at 28.5 still, you're seeing a lot of juice, like over on Caesars. -142, Pinnacle's got him at -135. So you're getting fair odds of -132 of Jalen Johnson clearing 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And he's done a good job of clearing for the most part. We're taking a look at the last 10 games where he's averaged 30.7 points, rebounds, and assists, a 60% hit rate. I told you I like to look for at least 60% or better on these hit rates. And I don't mind a guy who's coming off of a little bit of a down game, in which case that is the case here for Jalen Johnson. Only 23 PRA the last time that he took the floor against the Chicago Bulls. Hopefully he bounces back today with the Hawks being so thin along their front line. Points, rebounds, and assists, all looking green, green, green against the Charlotte Hornets. I told you their defense isn't very good. 24th in points allowed, 23rd in rebounds allowed, and 28th in assists allowed, according to props.cash here. So let's go run some projections on Jalen Johnson. He's our 5th pick of the video. And then we'll get into the last pick of the vid, which has already received a slight bump, but I'm still going to take it. And we'll look at that one in just a minute. 31.5 projected points, rebounds, and assists. Again, the line's just 28.5 for Jalen Johnson. So that's a pretty big projection. 3 PRA higher than his line. We like that type of discrepancy, the projection versus the line. And then back over to Action Labs we go. 30.7 points, rebounds, and assists. That's still more than 2 PRA higher than his line sits at 28.5. So Jalen Johnson over on his PRA at 28.5 looks like a good move. And the last pick, a super popular pick. That's why it's showing up under the popular tab here on PrizePicks. It's Evan Mobley, who was just at 22.5 points and rebounds. He is now at 23 points and rebounds. But I still think this is a fine way to play Evan Mobley. Just taking a look here at where he's at on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. If you wanted to pivot to a different option here, you could. But at the points and rebounds at 23, about a 51% chance that he goes over. So if you're able to capture this at 22.5, maybe on another site, I would say run, don't walk. Go grab Evan Mobley over 22.5 points and rebounds. But even at 23, just a half a point bump, I think we're okay with taking a half a point bump. And here's why. Because the games in which he's played with Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and Max Strus, he has had 23 or more points and rebounds in 15 out of 18 games. So you got to love those hit rates. 83% with 23 or better on the points and rebounds category, averaging almost 26 points and rebounds in those games played alongside of Allen, Garland, Mitchell, and Strus. And you kind of take a look at the home hit rates. Those are really super solid as well. 7 out of 9 times he's hit the over 78% hit rate, nearly 25 points and rebounds per game. And he's taken on the Chicago Bulls, who are kind of just an average team when it comes to giving up points and rebounds. So not an overly difficult matchup by any means for Evan Mobley and the rest of these Cleveland Cavaliers. So Evan Mobley looking pretty good here early on. Let's go run some projections and get you guys out of here so you could go lock some of these picks in, whichever ones you're liking, that is. First projection for Evan Mobley, 22.7. So if you got him at 22.5, you're feeling pretty good, but 22.7 is still a pretty good projection on a line of just 23. And then we'll run a second projection for you, heading back over here to Action Labs. Mobley's projected for 23.4 over there. A lot of juice on the over at 22.5. Maybe he ties, maybe he pushes at 23. I'm okay with that because the worst that would happen is that your 6th pick would now become a 5 pick, and that's all right with us. We still get a 10x payout if we get the other 5 right and one of our picks ties or pushes. So a lot of different picks in today's video, a lot to discuss. Let me know what you're thinking about the picks down in the comments section below. I try to get back to each and every comment. You take the time to leave a comment. I take the time to react. Appreciate you guys. As always, get subscribed if you haven't yet. Smash that like button on your way out. And good luck on all your picks, plays, and parlays. Lots of games today. I hope you win some money. Peace.